Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Come with us as we recap more foolishness.
You'll come with us as we watch this Australian Tubi movie. It's pretty shocking. It'll have you saying, oh, nar. Emma and Sissy were childhood best friends. They loved each other so much that they made a pact to end up in the same nursing home when they get old. Fast forward to the future, Sissy, also known as Cecilia to her followers, is quite a successful influencer. Her content is about meditation and dealing with mental health problems. Sissy got that fetal alcohol syndrome face.
I want to take a moment to tell you all about Elon Musk.
One morning, Sissy sees Emma at the pharmacy. It's been 15 years since they last saw each other. She tries to avoid Emma, but Emma approaches and invites her to her engagement party. Girl, Emma looks psycho. I would not go. As promised, Sissy attends the event. She meets Emma's partner for the first time, Fran, an American, and their two other close friends, Jamie and Tracy. They got the entire alphabet in here. Work. Though awkward at first, Sissy eventually loosens up as Emma does her best to make her feel welcome. But eventually Emma throws up on her, and I don't think that was an accident. Afterward, a very drunk Emma invites Sissy to her bachelorette party. Sissy is so happy to have her best friend back. She feels like she's on cloud nine. On her way home, she checks Emma's socials and finds a familiar face from the past, Alex Kudis. Alex has always been her competition when it comes to being Emma's best friend. So Sissy decides to dig up the time capsule she and Emma buried together. It's going to be the perfect gift. As soon as Sissy gets home, she watches the videos they took when they were young. She even dyes her hair pink. But that night, she dreams of her younger self covered in blood. Sissy shakes off the terrifying image and meets with Emma and the rest of the gang the next morning. They head to the location together, and Sissy is behind the wheel. It is a fun drive at first until Fran mentions Alex. It turns out that they'll be staying in Alex's vacation house for the bachelorette party. Sissy suddenly gets distracted and accidentally hits a kangaroo. An image of a bleeding young Alex flashes in her mind. The animal is still alive, but Fran says killing it is the humane thing to do. So Fran takes the keys and runs it over. When they finally reach their location, Alex is so furious to see Sissy. Did Alex change her race? Alex reminds Emma how much she hates Sissy. But since she's already there, Alex just decides to deal with it. However, she tells Sissy that she'll be sleeping on the couch. Though Emma's friends act civil with Sissy, they basically have no interest in her. Whenever ignored, Sissy walks away and meditates to calm herself down. After a few minutes, she returns carrying the time capsule she dug and gives it to Emma as a present. And then she plays a video they took together as kids. But just a few seconds in, and the hoe Alex turns off the TV, telling everyone that dinner's ready. Sissy gets offended, and she remembers Alex calling her a sissy when they were kids. Alex also had a BFF pendant she shared with Emma. The two still have the necklaces until now. And to Sissy's disappointment, Alex is Emma's maid of honor. Sissy gets anxious again, so she does her breathing exercise as she reminds herself that she is loved. Then Emma brags that Sissy is an influencer who helps people with mental health problems. But the rest of the group questions Sissy's credibility, saying she's not qualified to give advice. Fran, on the other hand, is very close to obtaining her doctorate degree in psychology. Sissy explains that she's always been honest with her followers. Emma keeps defending her, but Sissy eventually loses it. She hides in the bathroom to do her relaxation techniques and check messages from her followers. Emma follows Sissy and consoles her. She reminds Sissy that what happened between her and Alex was an accident and that she is a really good person. Then they proceed to put on their favorite nail polish as kids. Later that night, Sissy has another nightmare about Alex, who weirdly wants her hands to caress. Is Alex into scissoring too? When she wakes up, she learns that the rest of the group headed to a camping spot. She quickly gets dressed and follows them. Alex sees her coming and knows she can hear them, so she reveals that Emma hated how clingy Sissy was, but that Emma was too nice to say something about it. When they were kids, Emma didn't invite Sissy to her birthday party because the other kids didn't like her. Alex kept teasing Sissy, and the little girl snapped and stabbed her in the face with a gardening tool. And now Alex is a gardening tool herself, a hoe. Everyone is shocked now that the truth is out, and Jamie even proclaims that Sissy is now canceled. Emma reminds Alex that she was bullying Sissy, but Alex is having none of it. When the others leave, Alex tells Sissy to come out. Sissy apologizes, but Alex calls her a psychopath and refuses to accept her apology. Instead, she takes out Sissy's phone and demands that she tell the truth to her followers. Sissy refuses, so Alex turns the camera on her face and says that Sissy tried to murder her when they were kids. Sissy tries to stop Alex, and they start to wrestle for the phone. Then Sissy grabs a crystal and hits Alex hard on the back of the head. She cancels the uploading of the video just in time. After the assault, Sissy remembers the day she stabbed Alex in the face. Sissy then drags Alex's body and takes her BFF necklace. Sissy is so happy that she takes the time to upload a new video for her followers, telling them about the power of kindness. Then she buries Alex in a shallow grave and decorates it with flowers. Sissy fake AF. Just then, Jamie arrives and sees the floral decorations. He pees on it and almost uncovers the body underneath. So Sissy comes out before that happens. But Jamie slips when they're about to leave and lands exactly on Alex's dead body. Girl did a piss-poor job at burying the body. He starts running as fast as he can with Sissy chasing after him. And it's not very fast considering he's got a crutch. Meanwhile, Fran tells Tracy to let her and Emma have some private time. So Tracy makes an excuse to leave. But Emma is not in the mood for a scissoring session. She thinks she has been mean to Alex and wants to apologize to her. Sissy eventually corners Jamie. She says she didn't mean to kill Alex and she just had to defend herself. Then she cries, saying no one would have believed her. She proceeds to beg Jamie for help, so Jamie softens and starts to console her. Just then, they hear Tracy's voice. So Sissy pushes Jamie off the cliff. The way he fell had me cackling. Then she hides to avoid Tracy. Because her favorite YouTube channel uploaded another recap, Tracy decides to return to the house without Jamie. Meanwhile, Emma returns to the river to look for Alex. She finds Alex's bag in the water, and as she tries to get it, Emma gets swept away by the strong current. After killing Jamie, Sissy suffers another panic attack. She quickly goes online to check messages from her followers and get some validation that she's a good person. It's already dark when Sissy reaches the house. She hurts herself and tells Tracy that Alex went crazy and hurt her. Tracy patches up the wound but sides with Alex, saying maybe she just had to get back at Sissy. Sissy insists that she's a really good person. At this point, Tracy is already scared, as Sissy is acting like a White House press secretary. When she tries to leave, Sissy pushes her, and she lands in the tub. Her hair gets caught in the drain, tearing her scalp as she drowns. Sissy watches as this unfolds and refuses to offer a helping hand. Death by bathtub drain is diabolical. Somewhere in the woods, Alex gets up from her shallow grave. The assault injured her, but not enough to kill her. Sissy gets in the car to escape, only to be stopped by Fran, who finally finds her way out of the woods. Fran is grateful that Sissy found her because no one's been answering their phones. As Fran struggles to put on her seatbelt, she realizes that Sissy is going in the opposite direction of the house. Sissy becomes confrontational and hysterical. Fran tries to calm her down, but Sissy has lost it. She complains that she and Emma are supposed to grow old together, but they can no longer do that because Fran will take Emma to the US after they get married. Fran still hasn't put on her seatbelt, and Sissy continues to drive fast before she steps on the brakes. Fran gets thrown out of the car and breaks her bones. Sissy then approaches her and promises to do the humane thing. Then she gets back in the car and runs Fran over. Australians are crazy. While Alex crawls in the dark, she stumbles on Jamie's phone. Alex gets the shock of her life when she sees Jamie's dead body nearby. She immediately contacts the authorities, but nothing comes out of her mouth except for grunts and screams. The officer who has picked up the call sees her location and quickly tracks her. After killing 3 people, Sissy returns to the house and looks for Emma. The painting in Alex's house seems to be speaking to her, telling her to get the job done. Sissy, who has been hearing voices in her head, finally realizes what she has to do. Using her phone, she starts to hit her face over and over again until she bleeds, then goes live and begs for help. She proceeds to say that Alex Kudis is trying to kill her after already killing 3 of her friends. Then she ends the video. A few minutes later, Emma shows up. Upon seeing Sissy lying on the floor with blood coming out of her nose, Emma quickly springs into action. She frantically searches the house for some towels as she calls out to her friends. While in a room, she pulls a towel from under the bed and is shocked to see that it has blood on it. When she looks under the bed, she finds Tracy's lifeless body. Just then, Sissy enters the room, saying that Alex tried to kill her. She says she doesn't know where the others are. But when Emma sees Sissy wearing Alex's necklace, she knows the hoe is lying. So she convinces Sissy that it's time to call the police. But Sissy doesn't want to. Instead, she asks Emma to run away with her. While they argue, Emma slips and hits her head. When she opens her eyes, she sees their childhood video playing on the TV. She has tape over her mouth and her hands are tied behind her back. Sissy has gone extra psycho. It's as if she's just having fun with her best friend. When Sissy leaves to take some nail polish, Emma uses her BFF necklace to free herself. Then she fights back. As they get in a brawl, Sissy stabs Emma's back fat. Then Emma discovers that Sissy killed Fran. She snaps and calls Sissy a monster before she throws their time capsule in the fire. Sissy is devastated. She has come to realize that maybe Emma never really liked her. Maybe Emma became friends with her out of pity. Behind her, Emma is already on the phone with the authorities, but Sissy catches her in the act. They get into a fistfight, and Emma ends up on top of Sissy. Unfortunately, Alex hits Emma's head. Because Alex's vision is blurred, she keeps hitting Emma, thinking that it's Sissy. Now, how you mistake a white girl for a black one? Meanwhile, Sissy takes a video of the attack. When Alex finally sees clearly, she discovers she just butchered Emma. Before she can attack Sissy, a bullet hits her in the head. The officer who arrived at the scene thinks Alex is the killer. He tells Sissy she's safe now. Sissy takes the other BFF pendant and continues to watch her childhood video with Emma. Sometime after, Sissy is recognized as the sole survivor of the Alex Kudis massacre. She continues to be an influencer, reminding people to be kind, even promoting her new book. The truth of what happened is now all buried in the past. This was wild. I honestly thought Alex was going to be the villain in all of this. But your girl was psycho, had my flabbers gasted. What did you guys think of this one?
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because YouTube isn't recommending my videos. And if you'd like to watch more foolishness, click here or here.